Hi there, this is Paul Thompson from Spitfire Audio. Very excited to be able to show you for the first time today HZ02 Los Angeles. This is the Hans Zimmer percussion library featuring the incredible Jason Bonham playing his exclusive DW Vistalite kit, one of a kind, at three incredible locations: the legendary Newman stage at 20th Century Fox, the Sony scoring stage, and an enormous space at remote control, which the guys dubbed the Cathedral. So we've got a variety of mixes in this library, recorded by Alan Meyerson, mixed by Alan, Steve Lipson and Jeff Foster. It has some amazing extra synth content created by Hans himself on his enormous modular synths, some great synth percussion there, and it's the kind of it's a really great follow-up to the London percussion anthology, the HZ01 library. It locks in incredibly well. So what you have here is a really amazing set of of playable kits. But the real gold of the library is when you dig deeper into it and you go beyond the kind of the performance kits. The performance kits are GM compatible. But obviously we've got a lot more stuff in here than that. So there are a lot of extra articulations that you can't map onto a GM compatible layout. So, and actually a couple of the kits you can't, there's more than 88 articulations over the kit. So it's the way that we've done this is we've broken it down in a very similar way to HZ01, so that you go in from the top into two different sections. There's a stereo mix section in here, and then we've got the artist elements section, and then inside Alan and Jeff in here you've got your individual kit parts, and you can go in and see all the kind of different things in here. There's different snares, and when you load those up you get all the articulations along the keyboard. So I'm going to show you very quickly a couple of different bits of the kit, how the mics work, and some of those features. We're starting off here with Jeff's Fox Performance kits. This is the Newman stage, and I've got up the close mics, the overheads, the room mics, just in a balance. It sounds kind of like this. So you can hear, if I turn the other things off, you can hear the close mics here. So if we just listen to the overheads on their own, you've got a great sounding kit here. You've got your stopped cymbals, some really great riding sounds and bell sounds, some good stomps. Really useful stuff in there. So it's a basic kit. You've got alternate bass drums there. There's the usual kind of snare, ghost notes and flams and things like that. And then if we listen to the room mic on their own, so this is the kind of ambient mics. Then you've got a really fabulous sound in there. Now, this is a little bit of an extra one. We've got a gate control here, and this only works on the GR mic position where that's in there, which is a mic it's a kind of room sound that's been designed to be gated, and it's a little bit of an interesting one. It's not gated in the traditional way where you gate the entire kit, but it's gated on a per sample basis, which enables you to make some great kind of that fabulous 80s snare sound. Where the reverb is gated off. You can have it up to the maximum there. If I put it about halfway, you can hear where that comes down, and then if we pull it down you get some really interesting effects. You can really go for a kind of interesting kind of crunchy, and pull it right down. You've got a very, very tight sounding, good for kind of making some interesting slightly different kind of rhythm things. In fact, quite interesting to combine that with the pitch control, and then of course you've got our usual boom and crack, so you can hear that those are your basic filters. So if we put that back up, I'll play just to reset the pitch, I'll play something just so you can hear what that sounds like over the whole kit. So that's quite an interesting sound, and it's quite useful having it on a per sample basis. It enables you to get a really interesting groove going by just adjusting the gate as you're going, and you can be very creative with that. So I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail on all the controls down here. They are explained in fabulous detail in the manual, which is on our knowledge website, our forum there. And you can link to it into there and read all about that and ask any questions you've got as well. But also, the controls are essentially the same as on HZ01, so they'll be very familiar to you from previous videos and from your use of the previous library. So that's a quick listen to Fox. If we go into the folder here, Jeff's folder, into the Fox drums, and have a look at, we'll pick the main snare from Fox, and then you have a look, you see that you've got explanations of what the options are across the entire library. This is for snares, and then we've tried to be as consistent as possible so that your hits for each snare for any of the kits, any of the rooms, are always in the same place. Your flams are always in the same place, and so on. So you'll notice that some of the sounds in the list here are not on the keyboard, and that just means that they weren't recorded for this particular kit. Some things work better for some kits, and there's more detail in some areas than in others. Obviously, if you switch to different kind of, either like sticks for snares off, you've got different articulations available. With your brushes, hot rods, sorry, you've got different articulations available, and then you've got mallets as well. So that gives you all of your options there. If I show you, if we look in the cymbals section, and we just look at the hi-hats, for example, again you've got your usual different kinds of articulations in here. Some interesting stuff in there, really nice, useful stuff, and everything is explained up here, so you can clearly see what's available down here, and you can use the guide on here when you're not looking at the detailed page, spanner page there. You can see on the guide there everything that an explanation for what you'll find on what key. So if we have a look at the snares, say from the Cathedral section, you can see as you get into the kind of detail of the library, this is where the real meat of the library is. It's not in the performance kits. The performance kits are fabulous, great fun, and really good starting places to get a groove going, to put down a quick track, to play live with other musicians. It's great fun to do that. But when you want to program up a really great sounding cinematic drum track, this is where you're going to go. You're going to go into these individual folders, find your combination of sounds that really does it for you, and this is where you'll find all of the extra stick articulations and different options amongst things. And it's in here, if we wait for the samples to load, that you can really tailor the sound to exactly what you want. So if we have a look at the various of the snare options in here, you've got some fabulous sounds in this one. Pull the overheads down, put the close mics in. So some good stuff in there. Flam rims, all kinds of stuff you'll find as you go through the library. There's lots of really fun different articulations, all recorded absolutely beautifully and mixed immaculately. And you've got a whole ton of stuff in there. Let's go into the kicks section. Variety of different kicks. Again, you've got your usual things. You've got alts and flams. So you've got 3 kicks in there in the Cathedral. Let's bang up the Cathedral Kit just so you can hear the full thing. So if I put all of these in. So the Cathedral Kit sounds kind of like this. And then, excuse my ham-fisted MIDI keyboard drumming. It's all great sounds, really amazingly inspirational, this stuff is. I'm going to quickly go into the Sony performance kit, just so you can hear the Sony stage as well. I'll put the gate on just for fun. So we've got... So this gives you an interesting sound. We turn the gate off. Let's just go for the close in the overheads. Sound kind of like this. So really fabulous sound from there. If we look at the other sections in here, so we'll go to Alan's section first. We'll look at the Fox again. I'll put up the Fox Performance Kit. And then we've got two perspectives here. Now these load up in two different ways. If you look at my outputs assigned here, I've just got stereo outputs there. And if you, I can go, we'll look at that while I play. So you'll see that this is just operating in stereo at the moment. And then if I shut down this patch, go into my outputs and put them up to 3. So I'm going to just temporarily connect that to the front right because I'm working on a USB headset for the purposes of the video. But let's pretend you've got your 3 real outputs there. So you've set up your outs for LCR, and then we load the kit, and then if I play again, you'll see that you've now got LCR going. We'll put the center, the close mics back on. Now it sounds a little bit right heavy at the moment because I've obviously routed the center and the right side to the right hand side of your headphones if you're listening on headphones. But you'll see that basically we're LCR for this entire section. So for all of Alan's mixes, we've got LCR available. But intelligently works out what you've actually got available as outputs. And if you've only got stereo outputs, if we move that back down to 2, then everything is kind of worked out inside and you get a great stereo mix coming out instead. So let's turn the outputs off for now, go back to here. So 2 sounds, a kind of really close mic'd, really close mic sound there, and then a roomier sound. So you can hear from there you've got 2 great different sounds to work with. If we go into the other sections, have a quick look at the Cathedral Performance Kit. And again in here, you've got that roomy sound, and then let's go back to the close sound. So a really different sounding mix there. You've got an incredible variety just from looking into the different mics in Jeff's section, looking at these mixes in Alan's section. You've got a really incredible variety of drum sounds. So mix and match between them. Load up the bass drum if that gives you, that really does it for you, that bass drum sound. You load up that bass drum from the kick section in here. You can tweak that to your heart's content and then build up your kit that way. That's this stuff is fabulous for, you saw with Man of Steel a really amazing way of integrating drum kit into cinematic score. It's a great tool for doing that, and you can use it for creating fabulous drum tracks within your tracks with all kinds of different genres, as you'll hear from the demos. But also, and we've got more demos coming over the next couple of weeks as well, so keep checking out the website. But also, this is a really powerful tool for making really great sounding percussion tracks for your kind of filmic stuff as well, for score writing and film, TV and games, all that kind of stuff. So let's come back out of this section. We're going to have a look at the Synth Performance Kit. Now you'll see that this is kind of similar to the other interfaces, few less controls because obviously this is slightly different, and then you've got across the keyboard you've got all kinds of fabulous sounds. Now these are tailored so that within the velocity range you've got a huge variance of filters gradually opening, and as you go up to the top it really gets nice and crunchy. So if I just quickly play some really great sounds, super low stuff in here. and some great crunchy stuff, and then you've got your great click sound at the top. So some lovely stuff in here, and really fantastic bottom end coming from all that stuff. So this is stuff that's been created by Hans himself. And then if we go back in, let's go back up to the top and have a look at the stereo mixes. So we'll just quickly pop into the Fox Performance Kit, and you'll see that you've got two options here, and these are kind of these are in a sense kind of artist mixes, but they're mixed to give you just one great do it all sound, which has the sound of the room in as well, but it's just like a really nice, this is their kind of preferred sound for an overall kit balance. So if I quickly hammer out another quick bit on this. So that sounds really good. And then you've got Steve Lipson's version. So again, you can hear just the difference in the mix technique, the difference in the mics that they choose from the vast array of mics that were put out. It gives you a really different sound. Fabulous stuff. And then obviously you've got that for the Cathedral and Sony kits as well. So that's a look at the wealth of opportunity you've got within this HZ02 library. We've been playing with it now for a little while, as we've been kind of beta testing and honing it and getting, ironing out as many of the little bugs that you find in these things as we can. And just having a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll hear that from the demos. And it's just really, really inspirational to use. It's my new favourite drum kit, I have to say. So very exciting for us to be putting this out. Want to say a huge thank you to Hans and a huge thank you to Jason as well, and of course to Alan, Steve, Jeff, and the team. It's really a lot of work has gone into this. There's a lot of stuff going on under the hood. There are a lot of samples in here. A lot of blood, sweat and tears and love has gone into this, and we hope you're really going to enjoy it, and we're going to hear some fantastic sounding demos coming back from you guys. Hope you enjoyed this quick walkthrough, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks very much for watching.